Hello everyone, and welcome back to another review episode. In this week's analysis, I'll be exploring a series that, at its core, delves into repairing generational mistakes as I share my thoughts on Alias. Similar to my previous video, I'll be doing an overarching analysis of this series, discussing a show, just like its successor, in a way, Lost, balances many themes all into one cohesive narrative. Before I get started on this video, please make sure that you're subscribed and are up to date on this new chapter on this channel, and without further ado, let's dive deep into Alias. Chapter 1: The Verge of Science and Science Fiction. At first glance, watching the series for the first time, audience would probably be oblivious to the fact that this is a spy-fi series. To most, the main takeaway after watching the pilot would be about the difficult journey Sydney now faces as she's forced to balance her personal life and her life undercover at SD6. Diverging from just the spy genre narrative, however, as the episode continues, the viewers soon discover that while elements of the series are grounded in reality, the world they have chosen to enter is in fact a combination of spy and science fiction genre altogether. The series' science fiction element allows the narrative to mix up the typical narratives that many spy narratives might have and create fresh and at times unworldly takes on the genre. The key narrative that the series primarily focuses on is a fictional prophet, Rambaldi, a 15th century alchemist/engineer who had found himself with visions of what lies ahead within the series. The obsession by many of the antagonists within the series over decoding the prophecy and uncovering the mysteries and devices that have been left behind by Rambaldi becomes the main threat that Sydney and her team must stop, with each antagonist getting dangerously closer to the worst devices that Rambaldi had created. The combination of two distinct genres and their integration creates a series that is well grounded to the core of its narrative, seeing the series' characters struggle with life's problems similar to the viewers. Still, the unnatural element creates an endless sense of wonder in each episode. Chapter 2: The Difficulties of Balancing Work and Personal Life. Everyone can probably relate to the difficulties of having a personal life while attempting to maintain a successful career. Although Sydney Bristow has a similar concept, her situation is vastly different from what everyone else faces. In my eyes, she is a testament to resilience, being forced to lie about the things she does to her friends, and discovering the job that she had devoted her life to is not what she had imagined. That is what Sydney Bristow faces on a daily basis. Although her life was already well complicated by the start of the series, believing to be working for a clandestine agency under national security, her priorities to balance her personal life gets even more complicated after losing her fiancé and discovering the consequences of revealing the side of secrecy she had always kept, even to her closest friends. Once faced with this tragedy, her life of trying to have a normal life becomes harder to balance, learning that SD6 is actually a branch of the same enemy organization that she had long been trying to stop. Now she has a lot more on her plate, with 3 different matters she has to balance: her personal life, her work within the CIA, and being a double agent within SD6. The emotional toll of not having anyone she can truly have within all sectors of life is deeply explored, seeing the devastating consequences and dangers it can have. With zero confidant who can truly be in every part of her life, the series causes the viewers to deeply empathize with her, knowing that whatever the difficulties in trying to balance a successful career and a personal life are nothing compared to what Sydney faces throughout the first half of the series. The closest thing she has to a personal relationship is with her CIA handler, Agent Vaughn. Although their relationship becomes something meaningful and deep as they bond together, the tragedy still remains. She cannot be seen with him in public. As the series goes on, the narrative shifts its focus, allowing Sydney to be in a company where she can truly embrace her life and not have to lie to those around her. After facing many difficulties, from losing close friends to her secrets to losing 2 years of her life, the friendship she develops with those she works with allows her to be in an environment where she has people who can relate and understand what she does for a living as a spy. This gradual shift allows the viewers to see a positive change within Sydney, something that viewers will always root for in any series when it comes to the happiness of the main protagonists. Chapter 3: Being Hurt by Those Closest to You. In life, getting emotionally hurt is inevitable. What happens next defines you. Most people, after getting emotionally hurt, will use that and grow and become a better person because of it. However, at times, some things are harder to heal from, especially when you're emotionally hurt by those closest to you. Being emotionally hurt by your friends or family is something that, although inevitable at times, the scars that is left behind can sometimes never heal. The pain one feels can eat at you like a cancer. This series might come as no surprise for the characters to feel a wrath of hurt by those closest to them at certain points within the narrative. It can be easy for me to list a handful of moments of hurt that each character faced by those closest to them, But instead, I'm going to be focusing on the main character that faced the most hurt during the series, Sydney. Her list of painful moments piles more than every character combined. From the pilot of the series, losing her fiancé and discovering SD6 is part of the Alliance, to the reveal of what she discovers over the course of the series, especially regarding who her mother and father were. Witnessing Jennifer Garner portray these raw emotional moments of hurt, while also portraying her character trying to compartmentalize in certain scenes to not show her emotions, is marked as a masterful feat of masking oneself. As viewers, these moments makes it easier to sympathize with her character. She is not only willing to do what is necessary, but also unafraid of learning the truth, no matter how bad it might be. Knowing that all these moments and emotional hurts that she faces are to continue the narrative forward, one can always wish that in the end, her journey will end with a happy ending, and the glimpses she sees of happiness becomes a true beacon of light for the narrative. Chapter 4: Unexpected Twists. Before the era of streaming, when network TV dominated the landscape of television entertainment, there were many ways for viewers to return each week to continue watching on the new episode. For some, it was a sense of obligation to continue watching a series they had followed for years. Still, for others, it was interesting character developments, fascinating drama developments, or unexpected twists that kept the viewers returning on a weekly basis. Similar to many of J.J. Abrams' television projects based on drama, Alias has a noticeable narrative style, mainly where episode ends with a cliffhanger. This way, the cliffhangers would in most cases draw back the viewers to return the week after to unravel how the cliffhangers will affect the overarching narrative. Although many episodes have carried out these cliffhangers to draw viewers back, the best way of pulling off a massive cliffhanger is during the season finale, where the stakes of these cliffhangers would be elevated from 1 to 100. Alias, over its 5-season run, had 4 major cliffhangers within its finale that left the viewers speechless and speculating on what came next. From the first season finale, where it is revealed that Sydney's mother, who had been teased all across the first season, finally making her first appearance, to the 4th season finale, where Vaughn admits that he had been harboring a major secret from Sydney right as they both get into a car accident. But no other cliffhangers left me to question where the narrative was going than the 2nd season finale, where Sydney wakes up 2 years later in Hong Kong, believed by everyone she's close to as deceased and having zero traces of memory of those missing years. This cliffhanger leaves the viewers to wonder what led to this moment, not to mention the implication of those who were closest to her. This unanswered question of what had happened to her is one of the most perfect narrative cliffhangers in TV history. The many questions and theories that can be raised by this one event cannot be said enough. This series utilizes each cliffhanger to tease an upcoming saga within the series by keeping the viewers constantly wondering and speculating what is next, which when executed well can leave a big impression on the audience. Chapter 5: The truth can always be hard to swallow. Life is filled with endless secrets, but in the end, most people go on living oblivious to the lies that people tell, living their lives in a bubble state. But when forced to confront the truth to its fullest extent, it can be a traumatic experience, creating an unimaginable ripple effect for that person. Alias, at its core, is a story of secrecy. Secrets are one of the main currencies within the narrative. Whether it's a secret from the past or a new secret formulated in certain episodes, these secrets and the question of when or if they are revealed to others becomes the key formula that drives the episodes forward. Similar to the effects that unexpected twists and cliffhangers can have on viewers, that can be said about secrets for the characters of the series. And sometimes these two occurrences can happen simultaneously. While viewers are left speechless by the information they have just learned, the characters too are left to comprehend the secret they have just learned. Many of the secrets that gets uncovered are things that to characters can be very difficult to swallow. Witnessing how characters react to these secrets has always been an interesting dynamic, knowing that these reveals will alter the course of the series in interesting yet terrifying ways. From the first secret that Sydney learns about the true allegiance behind SD6, to other reveals like the fact that Sydney's mother was in fact a KGB spy, to Lauren's true allegiance. Each secret and its reveal changes the course of the series. These events made the viewers return every week back in the day, or in the current day of things, to binge watch the series until the very end. The phrase, "the truth will set you free," has always been something to live by, but in reality, to humans, secrets are better. Truth can hurt in unexpected ways, leaving complications and harm towards everyone around you, from your closest friends and family to your daily acquaintance. Some truth can be so harmful that in the end, they can become the most powerful weapon in your arsenal. Alias conveys this powerful message of truth and secrets in a delicate balance, as the series reveals just enough truth to keep the viewers hooked for the next truth to be unveiled. Chapter 6: The ending. Although categorized as a spy-fi series, the main focus of the series has always been about the ripple effects of generational mistakes. Combining the older generation with the new, the series over its 5-season run showcased many mistakes made by the older generation, and now the newer generation is having to fix the mistakes made by their forebears. Generational mistakes have always been the main theme of the narrative. The mistakes that occurred during the Cold War are now gripping the overarching narrative even into the deepest chasms of the story. From witnessing everyone, who the viewers can consider a new generation, like Sydney and Vaughn, having to dismantle the Alliance and its sub-organizations created during the Cold War, to having to handle those who have been corrupted by the Rombody devices during the Cold War, each actions that the newer generation faces becomes about fixing the generational mistakes created by their forebears. Within the narrative, the series always intertwined the actions of the old and the new generation. Having characters representing both generations working together to dismantle the threat becomes the key concept that the series tackles. Unfortunately for the narrative to fulfill its conclusion, the roles that the series have represented ever since the beginning of the series must end. The older generation must die out and let the newer generation take over the responsibilities from them, while a newer generation comes over to continue the work that Sydney and her friends have started. All the old generations on both sides of the coin, either working for the good or the bad, faces their ultimate fate. Some sacrifices themselves to ensure that their successors will continue the legacies left behind, leaving behind a sense of completion as a new cycle is born. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that this analysis has done justice to another one of J.J. Abrams' earlier works, and that this has tipped the scale in favor of watching it for yourself if you haven't had the chance to watch it for yourself yet. Every time I watch this series, with the notion that it plays heavily on prophecies, I always wonder, if a prophet from the past looks into the eyes of the future to now, how would the prophet describe the status of the current era? Now that's something to think about. This new chapter in my channel is still ongoing, tackling many series to come, so please make sure that you're subscribed, be sure to leave a like, share this video, and click on the notification bell to stay up to date on upcoming content. And I will see you soon for another review episode.